If you have hit financial rock bottom, I need you to understand that your biggest obstacle right now isn't a lack of money. It's a neurological condition. In psychology, there's a concept called tunnel vision, or, more accurately, panic blindness. When you are in a state of financial survival, your amygdala, the fear center of your brain, takes over. It shrinks your world down to the next 24 hours. You stop seeing opportunities. You stop seeing systems. All you can see is the immediate threat. How do I pay rent by Friday? This panic blindness creates the ultimate money illusion. You start to view your environment as a prison, not a laboratory. If you are forced to take an ugly job, let's say you're delivering pizzas, or stocking shelves, or answering phones at a call center, panic blindness makes you view that job as a sentence. You think, I am a failure. I am trapped here. I'm just a cog in a machine doing meaningless tasks for minimum wage. Because you feel like a victim of your circumstances, you do the bare minimum. You clock in. You zone out. You clock out. You are leaving exactly as broke as you arrived. Today, we are doing a deep dive into the exact mechanics of escaping poverty. We're going to cure your panic blindness, and I'm going to give you the step-by-step producer pivot, the tactical protocol to turn any miserable, low-paying job into the key that unlocks your financial escape. To escape, you have to completely sever your identity from your bank account. You are not your job title. You are not your paycheck. I want you to adopt a radically different identity. I want you to become the observer. When you walk into that ugly job tomorrow, I don't want you to think like an employee. I want you to think like a consultant who is being paid to go undercover. Let's say you are a delivery driver. The victim thinks, I'm just driving around in my beat-up car, wasting gas, making $12 an hour. This sucks. The observer thinks, I am embedded inside the logistics network of a multi-million-dollar local business. I am watching their routing algorithms fail in real time. I am seeing which restaurants prep food too slowly. I am watching where the bottlenecks are in their supply chain. Do you see the shift? The job hasn't changed. The pay hasn't changed. But your brain has shifted from consumption mode, just consuming time for a wage, to production mode. You are no longer doing a task. You are auditing a system. Once you make this psychological shift, you realize something profound. Wealth doesn't come from hours worked. It comes from problems solved. And every chaotic, poorly managed, ugly job is overflowing with problems waiting to be solved. This brings us to the tactical phase, the producer pivot. How do you actually turn this observation into money? Step 1. Identify the friction point. In any job, especially low-wage jobs where management is overwhelmed, there is friction. There is something that costs the business time, money, or sanity. Your job as the observer is to find it and shut up about it. Don't complain to your coworkers. Don't go to the boss and say, hey, this place is a mess. Nobody likes a complainer. Look for the repetitive headaches. If you work at a retail store, maybe it takes 20 minutes every morning for the manager to manually count the inventory in the back room because the previous shift didn't organize it. If you work at a gym, maybe the front desk staff gets interrupted 50 times a day by members asking the exact same 3 questions about the class schedule. If you work in food delivery, maybe the drivers are constantly double ordering the wrong drinks because the receipt printer is broken. Find the leak. Isolate the exact point where the business is bleeding time or money. Write it down in your phone on your break. Step 2. Build the silent solution. Do not ask for permission to fix it. Do not ask for resources. You build the solution on your own time, using free tools. If the inventory is a mess, you go home and build a simple, color-coded Google Sheet that makes counting take 5 minutes instead of 20. If the gym members keep asking the same questions, you type up a 1-page, double-sided FAQ sheet that can be handed out at the front desk. It does not have to be perfect. It just has to stop the bleeding. Step 3. The non-threatening pitch. This is where 99% of people fail. They do the work, and then they walk into the boss's office and say, "I did this extra work. I want a raise." The boss feels threatened. They feel backed into a corner. They say no. Instead, you frame it as a gift. You say, "Hey, Mr. Peter, I noticed we were losing about 20 minutes every morning trying to sort the back room. It seemed frustrating. So on my own time last night, I put together this simple tracking sheet. I tested it today, and it cut our prep time in half. I'd love for you to take a look and see if it helps the team out." Notice what you did. You didn't demand anything. You solved a problem the boss didn't have the time to solve. You just became indispensable. Step 4. Leverage the win. Once the boss uses your solution and realizes you just made their life easier, you have leverage. Now you can have a conversation. "Hey, since I took over the inventory system and it's running smoothly, I'd love to take on the responsibility of ordering the supplies too. If I manage that end-to-end, can we bump my rate up by $2 an hour?" If you are working for a decent human being, they will say yes. You just used a minimum wage job to engineer a 15% raise without waiting for an annual review. But what if the boss is a jerk? What if they say, "Great job, keep it up," and don't pay you a dime? This is the beautiful secret of the value producer mindset. You now own a case study. You are no longer a job seeker with a pathetic resume saying, "I stock shelves." You are a problem solver with a portfolio. You can take that exact same Google sheet, walk into a competing business, find the manager, and say, "I built an inventory system that cut prep times in half at my last job. I can implement it here for you. Will you pay me $18 an hour to do it?" The job seeker is the person pounding on the front door of the building, begging for someone to let them in based on a piece of paper. The value producer is the person who walked around the back, studied the lock, built a key, and let themselves in. Curing your panic blindness and shifting to the observer role isn't just motivational fluff. It is the most tactical, lethal financial weapon you can build when you have nothing else. Stop doing tasks. Start solving problems. The escape route was there the whole time. You just couldn't see it. Protect your wallet. Stay vigilant. Subscribe to The Money Illusion.